Let me guess. You're stuck in ranked. Your teammates are trash, and somehow you don't ever think it's your fault. We've all been there. We've all blamed our teammates. We've all had our, dude, you're trash, bro. My tank won't push up. My healers won't do this. My DPS won't do that. But the truth is, most players are making the same mistakes over and over, and it's the reason that they never climb ranks in this game. So today we're going to go over 10 mistakes that every Overwatch player makes and how to fix them, or at least get on the track to fix them. So for mistake number one, it's 100% blaming your teammates for everything. Look, I know there's some games where your DPS is literally going 5 and 12, okay? It's understandable. Everybody has those games, but for the most part, a lot of the times it's not always their fault. Sometimes it's something that you could be doing that is not allowing them to exceed better. I had somebody get mad at me one time because I wasn't getting kills, because I was getting destroyed. Well, it was because they were playing Doomfist on defense. Alright, that's just not how. If you're a really cracked Doomfist, alright, good, do your thing, but you're not going to consistently get kills/wins playing Doomfist on defense. Especially to allow your other teammates to be able to do things. Mistake number two, it's bad positioning. If I see like once again a Doomfist in the backlines and you're behind a wall, you're not going to be able to get healed, or a Winston or a Wrecking Ball, you're not going to get healed if you're behind walls. So positioning is everything. Like, if you're a Widowmaker or you have a Widowmaker on the enemy team, try your hardest not to stand in the middle of the open, because you're going to get domed. You're going to get domed. You're going to get Chris Kyled across the map, and you're going to get mad. So that's just free feeding for the enemy to get their ult charge off. That's just that's staggering your team. You need everybody in a team to be able to have a team fight. Just play corners, use the high ground, make it hard for the enemies to actually hit you. Otherwise, the game's chopped. Mistake number three, 100%, it's not grouping up. And you don't even have to use your comms. The great thing about Overwatch is that they have the built-in ability to say group up, and a lot of the times people listen. If they see it, sometimes they just choose not to. If there's a diva who thinks that they can solo ult the entire team, they're gonna try it. It's whatever. But that's not your fault. That's the teammates' fault, which wraps up with number one. But not grouping up is probably one of the biggest downfalls you'll have, because this game is very team based. You can't do things on your own. I mean, you're not going to get shit done as a Soldier 76 fighting an entire team. Number four, we're going with wasting ultimates. I see so many times, like, I'll corner a Zenyatta just so that he won't die. He'll pop his ultimate to get out, and it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Pop off a Lucio ult too soon. That's it. It's not credible. You're not going to get any value out of certain ults popping too soon or too late. And that's what this game is about. A lot of this game is about ultimate timings and counter pickings. And if you're not, playing your ultimates at the right time, shit could go wrong. This is a pretty obvious one, but you would be surprised how many times I've backlined, pushed the objective, but it's ignoring the objective. Players, they will get so zoned in on attacking the team that they won't even notice that the objective is getting pushed like 10 meters without them even being there. It's not team deathmatch, okay? It's a team-based game, especially when it comes to payload, for sure, because the farther you get, especially in competitive, every little inch matters. Another bad thing that people make, another mistakes, is never switching heroes. And you'll see this a lot in lower ranks, because they just play characters that they're comfortable with. But a lot of the times you want to switch characters. Like, I think in this video in the background, for example, I'm playing Orisa now, but I'm pretty sure at some point I switch over to like Ramatra because they start playing Ryan or something, or I think they stay Diva, and I go and I play Ramatra because Ramatra is a Diva counter. Or if they have an Ashe or something, a lot of the times a good Ashe counter is a mirror pick. You want to play Ashe against an Ashe. Or, you know, if they have a Winston on the team, you want to play Reaper because that's a big-ass body getting shot by shotguns. I think one of the main things about this game is counterpicking. If you're not counterpicking and you're just straight playing a character that's just absolutely doing boo-boo against another character, then you're just asking to lose. I mean, especially like if you're a Reinhardt going up against a Ramatra, you're gonna get tossed. Like right here, for example, I just switched to Winston. Because Winston is a diva counter because her defense matrix cannot negate his lightning. This is what you have to do to stay, like, you know, to keep the game flowing. Another one is bad ability usage. I mean, a lot of characters, it doesn't really matter if you mess up an ability or two here and there, but some characters, you need to be precise with them. Kiriko's Suzu, Baptiste's Immortality Shield, you know, Winston's Bubble, Ramatra's Shield. I mean, the list can go on and on. Kiriko's Suzu, like, you need to know exactly when to use those abilities and exactly when to not use those abilities. Sometimes people just be straight throwing Suzus down because it does extra healing. That's great, but then you're gonna get nanoed right at, not nanoed, antied right after. Boom, now you can't heal and you have no Suzu. You know, it all comes together. And if you don't use your abilities the right way, you might as well kiss the game goodbye. And this goes back to not playing the objective. Tunnel visioning. A lot of people tunnel vision, and I get it. I've done it too. I'm guilty, bro. I do it sometimes. If I know a character can die, I'm gonna push. I'm sorry, bro. Sometimes if I'm feeling frisky, I'm gonna push. Do it at your own risk, because most times when you zero in on somebody, you can confirm the kill, but then you're so far ahead that you're gonna die and it's gonna stagger the team. Another mistake is just not tracking enemy ultimates, and I know that this can kind of be, you know, difficult, but if you have enough game knowledge, you'll start recognizing these patterns of, like, okay, this Reinhardt just shattered, alright, and he's not doing too much damage, and he's not doing too much this. It might take a little bit longer to get his ultimate the next time. Also, you have to understand heroes' ultimates is charge, because a lot of them charge slower, a lot of them charge quicker, depending on how valuable they are, or depending on how you know, impactful they are to the fight. Also, when you die, you can see their ultimate number, like at the bottom. So you always want to be checking that too. And if they haven't used them in a while, let's say like 2 minutes, just assume that they have their ultimates, because that's, you know, not assuming, like, say for example a Genji comes and tries to swipe you with his blade. If your Lucio has his ultimate, boom, you're not gonna die. But if you don't have your ultimate, you're toast. That's just, you know, that's just how it is. And the last mistake that a lot of people make is playing without a plan. You kind of just do whatever you think is right. You kind of just, you know, maybe sometimes you'll sit there and you'll just be shooting into the enemy tank while they're getting healed, and you're giving their healer their ult charge. Always want to have a plan. If I'm playing tank, I need to do this. If I'm playing DPS, I need to be doing this. If I'm playing support, I need to be doing this. Depending on what character you pick, you'll have to shift that, you know, opinion around. But at the end of the day, you always want to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Otherwise, it's just going to seem like you're just kind of just playing the game. And I know that sounds stupid, but you'll understand if you play the game a lot. You know, even a basic, just standard plan, it gives you a huge advantage. This is more for, like, playing with a team, but a lot of the times you don't have that option. Understandably, I don't a lot of the times either. But, you know, even if you fix half of these mistakes, you'll instantly be better than most players in your rank, at least. Like, don't just play the game, but play it smart. You know, just make sure that you go in with a plan, your positioning is good. You know, you're tracking ultimates, you have intent with everything you're doing. You know, if this video helped you out, you know, drop a like, subscribe, and with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.